So with that, our recording. I want to thank everybody for joining me this Thursday. As always, we will continue to do these every Thursday at 11 a.m. Same login, same information. Before we get started, I just wanted to go over a couple of housekeeping. One is just a reminder that if you haven't been out to the Parkland office recently, stop by. We give it a little bit of a facelift, did some painting. We do have desk space available. And for most of you, that desk space is completely free of charge. We're not going to be charging for it. So if you're in need of that, if you are coming around to, we're going into Q2, if you haven't already met your goals for this quarter, this is the perfect time to go over your business plan and sit and do a little bit of replanning. So I am available by appointment only, which I can't stress enough, to sit down with any agent. I'm willing to give up my time. I just ask that we do it by appointment because I do work off of a schedule. If you haven't had a chance to meet Carla Wynn, Carla is sitting in our Parkland office. She works for South Florida Title Associates. She is going to be our title agent. If you're currently using Laura, that's great too. They all work together. It's a big team. As always, Certified Home Loans is our in-house lender. We are beating everybody's rates. Besides not having fees, I was able to just beat a rate for someone and save them $1,000 a month. That is huge. That's a huge amount to save over the course of 30 years. Each year is $12,000 in payments alone. Besides that, we also save them all kinds of different fees, including, which we're seeing all over the place now because there's no more refis going on. So lenders are all charging loan origination fees, and they're usually 1% of the loan amount. That's a lot of extra money buyers are bringing to a closing table. So by any means, if you have anybody, I'm willing to work with them. And just a reminder too, with South Florida Title Associates, even if your buyer or seller has the option to choose title and somebody's offering them lower than the $585 we normally charge, we will always beat that price. Besides giving you the level of service, I had an agent come in the office yesterday, and she ended up using a different title company because it was $50 less, but it's been a complete nightmare for them. So just a thought. But let's jump into today. As always, my trainings are intended to increase your income, keeping your business consistent, and anything I can do to help lower that cost of doing business. So as we all know, buying and selling a house can be an extremely stressful process for some people. First of all, for most people, it's the biggest investment that they make in their life. A lot of other people, there's a lot of emotional attached to them. Some people have lived in a home for 20 years. That's where they raise their children. It's also just moving your family and juggling everything. If they've got young children, it's not so easy to do. And now more than ever, people are a bit nervous because everyone's afraid of where the economy's going, where the interest rates are going, are prices going up or down. So with that, we want to make sure that we're doing what buyers and sellers are looking for. Our job is to alleviate that stress and make the process as smooth as possible for them. And with that, that's where we get our referrals, because we gave them such a great transaction that they're willing to refer us out to their family, their friends, and coworkers. So just like us, when we're working with a client, we look for certain things. We want to know that they're pre-qualified, that they have down payment, that they have a credit score, that they're ready to purchase, or if a seller, that they're motivated. We have criteria we look for in our clients, and they look for certain things in us. So today I've put together a list of probably the top 10 qualities that buyers and sellers are looking for in a real estate agent. Top producing agents have all of these qualities. I'm betting a lot of you have some of them, but maybe not all. So let's go over my list today and we'll see. Number one up front is honesty and disclosure. Honesty and disclosure is always, we know it's part of our code of ethics, but not everybody does it. One way we can always make sure is we can actually, I've given people, my past clients, cell phone numbers and said, feel free to give them a quick text if you want to know anything about me. I'll give you an example. Last year, a gentleman came to me and he was looking to purchase a property, and he wanted to purchase about $2 million. And his intention was to then rent it out for $30,000 to $40,000. Well, he was looking in Parkland. And at that time, those houses, I didn't have anything to show that there was a way that I was going to be able to rent it for $30,000. There was no rentals through Pine Tree Estates for $30,000 a month. Now, things probably have changed and rental prices are up, but at that time it wasn't. I could have easily have sold him this house and made 60 grand and then figured it out afterwards. But I was honest and upfront with him, and I told him I don't think I could. Well, he ended up going with another agent, and he bought something out in Plantation, out in the acreage out there. And then I watched the house he bought. He put it up at 28,000, then he lowered it to 26,000. In the end, he ended up renting it for $15,000 a month. How do you think he felt about that agent afterwards? So it's just an idea. I would rather be honest. It's also helping, and honesty is setting their expectations, letting them know your price that you want is unrealistic. I took a listing recently. It was a townhouse where there were 18 other listings on there, and they were all about the same price. And I was honest with her. We may take a month or two. It's going to take a little bit of time. There's 18 active listings, and you all have the same exact model. It's only one model of townhouses in there. So I was honest with her and didn't tell her we're going to get you under contract right away. It saved my reputation and my relationship with her, and she just referred me somebody else. The next on my list, and I probably can't stress this enough, is communication, and frequent communication. We all know what it's like when somebody doesn't get back to us. It's very frustrating. The number one reason, according to a NAR stat, that clients fire their agent, their buyer's agent, is because of the level of communication. Acknowledge a text, an email, or a phone call almost immediately. It's okay to let them know, hey, I'm in a meeting, I'm with another client, I'll get back to you. But acknowledging them. If anyone's listened to my listing presentation and servicing my listing, I give 3 emails per week for my sellers, letting them know what's come on the market, if anything's gone pending, and I keep them involved, any feedback on showing, besides reaching out to them and letting them know. But it's the communication levels are open. And even updating them. Sometimes you're sitting on an offer, and you know what it's like if somebody's got an offer in, it's very stressful for them to sit and wait to see if their offer is accepted or not. And sometimes we have no news, but that's okay to tell them too. Hey, I haven't heard from the agent yet, because it's pins and needles. If you've ever bought a house, it is pins and needles waiting for your offer to be accepted. Even if there's bad news, we need to communicate with them and pick up the phone. I highly, sometimes bad news, an appraisal or whatever, something came back in an inspection report, not really something you want to do in a text. This requires to pick up the phone, talk them, walk them through it. What are their options? Number 3 on my list is the use of technology. We are in a digital age. First, we've done the first step where you have the e-signature. That's great. That's what everybody wants, so they can do it from the convenience of their home. But a lot of them are also looking at other things. Do you have a website for them to search on? What apps are you using? We have given you the solution for our website as easy as we could. $25 a month, no other fees. It's a great website. It's custom to you. It has the CRM on the back end, so you can see what they're doing. And we're going to do a Zoom call with I guess he's the owner or of the company. It's going to show us how our website can actually generate leads. So with that, other little things, when you walk in a house, do you bring an electronic measure to measure room sizes on your listing appointment? Do you have QR codes that people can dial in? They're looking for this advanced technology, and it sets you apart from everybody else. Number 4 on my list is quality business connections. And what I mean by this is we've already set you up for success with 2 of them. We've set you up with a great lender and a great title company. But we know our clients are also looking to us for a handyman, cleaners, maybe a pool service. Sometimes if we need roof repairs done, whatever it takes. And if you don't have that list, come see me, because I've aligned myself for years with some of the best roofers. I have a great handyman that can come out in a week or so, and his prices are great. I've got people that can just go lay mulch So if you don't have that list compiled, maybe put one together or come see me and I'll help you out with it. Next is professionalism. Professionalism is always being on time for appointments. Um, I know I've done agent of company showings and the buyer shows up and the buyer's agent is running late for the appointment. How do you think the buyer they're perceived? Not going to an open house with them and just telling them to go to the open house on their own. One of my pet peeves is the way agents answer their phone. It is your business line. When you're answering that phone, you should answer it. Hello, this is Linda. May I help you? Thank you for calling United Realty Group, whatever the case may be. I call agents, and when they just answer hello and have kids in the background, or maybe they're in a restaurant, it's just not the most professional way. Texting and email etiquette is under that. Like, we're still communicating with clients. We should never send the number 4 or the letter U. We should make sure that our emails are punctuated correctly, the grammar is correct. You still want to look professional. And above everything, too, the way you dress when you're meeting clients. They expect a level of professionalism from you, and they still want you to be that way. I know an agent, and I always swore she looked like she rolled out of the bottom of a hamper. And I actually had a client of hers call and complain that she was not professional. And she showed that way for an open house, and they were upset. But so it's just some tips. The next on my list is a proven track record. Remember, I told everybody, and I'm going to go through it again with this, that people will Google you. So you want to make sure your reviews are out there. This is where your reviews and testimonials come into place. And they're so easy. If you go onto the back of our dashboard, we have Real Satisfied and Rate My Agent. There are 2 out there. They send a really nice little email right to your client with the address, and they just complete it and fill it out, and it does the work for you. And then you can add it to your Google reviews, you can add it to your website, or wherever else you may want to do it. Other track records is maybe you want to bring to them some of your recent sales in that neighborhood. Years ago, I used to sell in Cocoa Bay and Coconut Creek. I don't know if anyone knows it, but I was the #1 agent in there. And I actually had the original plot map that showed all the lots, and I highlighted all the ones I sold. So when I sat down and showed them these are all the homes I sold, they saw that I have a proven track record. They saw that I have success. The next on my list is probably right up there with being honest, is your market knowledge. They're hiring us because we are the professional. We are a real estate professional where they're not doing it for sale by owner or trying to go buy it by themselves because they want a professional. They want to know that you know the market. You know the area that they're looking at. Maybe the number of homes that have sold in the past 6 months. And this is really easy, folks, because you can just, once again, go onto your realtor dashboard and we have stats back there. So even if you're selling maybe where you're not really comfortable, and you don't know they're looking out in plantation and you haven't sold in plantation, you can get this information. We have it through the MLS. You should be able to let them know, hey, this is how many homes have sold in this particular subdivision in the past year. This is the average price. Having that market knowledge is key. The next is knowledge of local rules, regulations, and our documents. Our purchase contract above anything else, the as-is contract, everyone should know that inside and out. Everyone knows I bought my own home. I recently sat in with the realtor and her seller at the time. And I think her seller was a little bit upset because she looked foolish. She was asking me about a seller's disclosure, and I explained to her, it's not compliant. We haven't used it in almost 10 years. Then she was trying to explain to me that we needed to change the escrow agent on the front page of the contract because it was in Palm Beach where the seller's picking. I said, it is only the escrow agent. We do not need to change anything. The escrow agent remains. That agent looked foolish because she doesn't understand her contract legality. Besides that, the biggest obstacle we get now is condos. So it's really important when you take a listing for a condo, get the docs, get the rules and regulations, get the application up front, get everything up front and add it as an attachment in the MLS. Especially, I had someone that was just recently, the agent sold them a house in the township in Coconut Creek, if anybody knows that. Everything's done. They're waiting for their final interview with the association, the last piece of the puzzle, because they do formal interviews, and they tell them you can't have pickup trucks. Well, the gentleman had a $65,000 pickup truck because they're expensive, but it doesn't matter. He can't park it in there. But now we're past everything. He's getting approved. So either he closes and finds another solution, or he could lose his escrow deposits and everything else he was out front. How do you think he felt about his buyer's agent? Think he's going to refer them out again? I don't think so, because it'll put them in a really bad position. So having that knowledge is key and essential. The next is availability. I know we have to be flexible, and we have to work nights, and we have to work weekends, but this is what our clients expect of us. They want to know that if they need to go see a house at 7 p.m., that we're going to be able to take them at 7 p.m. Some people work full-time jobs, and people, if something comes on the market, they've been waiting a while, they want to be the first ones there. They say, I've got time during my lunch period. If you have other restraints that are going to hold you back, it may be best to partner up with another agent. I just had an agent call me yesterday. She wanted to use the conference room for a closing. However, it's not our title company, and she couldn't be there. So she wanted somebody to sit in as a representative on her behalf. Well, I don't know about you guys, but not many agents want to do that for free and just give up. Your time is valuable. My time is valuable. But maybe she should have, knowing that she's got other obligations, either scheduled the closing for a different time or partnered up with someone and offered to help them along the way. Whatever the case may be, especially if you're going out of town on vacation or anything. I am happy to babysit a file for people, but if you've got clients that are out there looking to buy, the last thing you want to do is go out of town, enjoy yourself, and find out that you just lost your buyer because while you're away, they went and saw something else. To me, I'd much rather pay somebody a 20% referral fee and keep my buyer or my seller happy while I'm out of town, because I am a firm believer of balancing work and play. And if you know we're working weekends, if you know you've got to work Saturday and Sundays doing open houses or running around with buyers, make sure you schedule some time off for yourself during the week. That's why most people know I don't go into the office on Fridays. I try to keep that as an extra personal day in case I'm out doing stuff on a Saturday or Sunday. I don't ever want to be working 7 days a week because that will burn you out really quick, really fast. The last on my list is a strong negotiator and a reputation. And with reputation, you better believe that people Google you. If you go out on a first date with somebody, everyone Googles the other person just to see what they're about. You meet someone for the first time. I meet clients, I Google them. An agent tells me they're interested in joining URG. I Google the agent. I want to see how they're perceived out there. I want to know, do they have their Realtor.com profile set up? Do they have their Zillow profile? Is their social media all public, and what is on that social media? Is it something that maybe you don't want clients to see because it's out there? This is also, once again, where the reviews tie in. This is a great time to use any reviews and testimonials. Once again, maybe give out a past client's phone number or bring your stats. Show them, these are my last 3 listings. If you notice, they were listed at this is the days on market. This is what I sold above list price. Or your last 3 buy sales with the buyer, bring it to them. The home was listed at this. I was able to negotiate it for this, and show them the MLS sheet where it's closed out to that, and that you were the agent on that, and that, let them know what else you negotiated. They want to see that you're a little aggressive. They want to know that you're going to be aggressive in negotiating the sale of their house or the purchase of their house. And above all, they want to know your reputation with other agents. I never want to mention names, but there is an agent out there. She does a lot of listings. She's up in the Boca area. She doesn't play nice in the sandbox with some agents, and people have gotten to the point that they will stop just showing her listings because going to contract is not a fun experience. I know a couple of agents in our office that have said, I don't even want to show her property anymore because it's a nightmare. It's also how, it links back to being available. how frustrating it is when you're working with a buyer and you can't get the listing agent on the phone to get a showing, and your client wants to see this property, but the listing agent never answers their phone. And eventually, same thing's going to happen if you're one of those agents. When people see it, they're going to go, oh gosh, I can never get in touch with her. I send offers, they don't even acknowledge it. So it gets frustrating. So you want to make sure that your reputation in the market with other realtors is good too. That's why I also go and I always do review your listing just to make sure if there's anything I can help you to maybe get that listing sold, or B, that it's compliant, or just how it looks to other agents as they're looking at our listings and your listings and how you're perceived. So with these things, I do hope that either you possess all of them, or maybe it's something we need to build up on. Maybe we know we need to build up on our reviews, make our Google presence a little bit stronger. So I hope this was helpful for you today. Don't forget, we're going to do this every Thursday, not the last Thursday of the month. The 25th, we're going to be live back in the office. So I hope everybody is available for that. We'll do a little lunch and learn. We'll have a good time. It's also a great way to bring any listings you have. We do an open forum afterwards. Everybody shares some ideas and tips. I know it's not the easiest market right now. We're still struggling for inventory. Rates are high, but this is a great time to connect with other agents that are out there experiencing exactly what you're experiencing. So with that, thank you for joining me. I'm at my 20-minute mark. I always like to keep this short and sweet. If always, I post everything onto our Facebook page at United Realty Group Park Creek. Feel free to go back and reference it. And if you have any questions, concerns, or conundrums outside, please just reach me outside of this. You can text and call me, and I'm always available for you. And with that, everyone, go out and make it a great day.